It is pointless to resist.
Take it easy.
Today is Monday, November 6th, and the hot stove season is officially underway. Gerrit Cole was the player's choice for outstanding pitcher in the American League and is likely about to take home his first Cy Young Award. Anthony Vulpi just became the first Yankee rookie to win a Gold Glove. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is officially being posted and will make his way to the United States. We'll talk about the Yankees' chances to sign him, while rumors and contradictory reports continue to swirl around Juan Soto and the cash-strapped San Diego Padres. Plus, Domingo Germán's Yankees career is over, but can the same be said for Frankie Montas? We got a roundup of all of the recent news, plus offseason predictions from me and Pat Hennessy of Unhinged Yankees. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
All right. How's it going, everybody? It's been about a week since we talked. I was working in Atlantic City, but now I am back. The hot stove is on. It's official. And we got to talk some Yankees baseball. We got some awards to go through. We got some hot stove predictions to make. But first, we have a very special guest.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
And allow me to introduce Pat Hennessy of Unhinged Yankees. How's it going, Pat?
Listen, Derek, I'm doing fantastic. So happy to be back talking to you. I feel like every time we converse, it's like something big either happened or is about to happen. So I'm getting like that Christmas Eve energy right now. It feels good.
Well, I think the next big thing that's going to happen is Gerrit Cole is going to win the Cy Young Award. They just announced tonight that he's one of the finalists. He won the Players' Choice Award for most outstanding pitcher in the American League, and he's going to add that Cy Young to the wall. Anthony Vulpi, despite his early defensive struggles this season, and despite some of the haters, has won the American League Gold Glove Award. So congrats to Anthony Vulpi. Give him a little standing O there. So I know you were critical on social media of Vulpi winning the award. I don't know if that was just for clicks, you being you being the contrarian that you like to be just for fun, or if you honestly believe that there was a better shortstop there this year.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think a lot of it was probably just me trying to stir the pot a little bit, which is, dude, like we all do.
That's what you do. I mean, you gotta do it.
Yeah, but also at the same time, it's like I don't necessarily think that Anthony Vulpi was a Gold Glove shortstop this year. You know what I mean? It's like I look at the competition, and sure, when you look at who he was up against, it's like sure, like I could see why he won the award, but also at the same time, it's like I don't know. It's like watching him on a daily basis this season, like it never kind of like sparked to me in my head, like, yo, Anthony Vulpi is a Gold Glove shortstop. Did you have those thoughts?
So I really didn't think that like the numbers would show him to be as good as he was. Like he made a lot of bad throws. I thought that, I thought he was average as a shortstop, but when you look at the numbers, you look at the metrics, he had 15 defensive runs saved, which was one less than Wander Franco, who probably should have won it, but he's on death row. The other finalists were Corey Seager, who had 5 defensive runs saved, and Carlos Correa, who had like -2 DRS. So, I mean, I just don't know anybody who had better numbers. But to me, he seemed like a decent shortstop.
I thought he was good.
When we looked at him, we were thinking he would be like an offensive shortstop, right?
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I thought. I mean, also at the same time, like I didn't really think that Anthony Vulpi was the Yankees shortstop of the future, especially from everything we heard from scouting reports and whatnot. It didn't seem like his long-term fit was at shortstop. It seemed like they were viewing him more as like a second base, third base option, but I don't know. I like shout out to him. I mean, it's a big deal winning Gold Glove. I think he's the first Yankees rookie to ever win a Gold Glove award. So it's a big deal for sure. But yeah, when I say he doesn't deserve it, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it in terms of like there's another shortstop this year that deserved it over him. I'm saying just in the grand scheme of things of like a Gold Glove winner, I don't think he deserves to have a Gold Glove award. That's just me.
Joser B says, how do you feel about Pat saying he would beat up anybody in the Yankees YouTube scene? Hey, look, I agree. Kick my ass.
You know, like, that's a statement I've made in the past. And Derek, like, obviously we wouldn't step in the ring, but if I did step in the ring with anybody in the Yankees YouTube scene, round one knockout. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm 40 years old and I can barely like move around. I move around like De Niro in The Irishman, where I can barely take my foot off the ground if I want to stomp somebody. So I'm confident you would whip my ass.
Absolutely. Hey.
All right,
Maybe
so let's
put up a good fight.
Maybe. So let's. Although I do outweigh you by about 50 pounds, I think. What are you about? What, 170?
Bro, that's really generous. I'm probably like 130 on a good day.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm about 215. So yeah.
Okay. Different weight class, but it's okay.
Yeah, different. Yeah, I'm definitely a heavyweight. You're more of a bantamweight. All right, so let's get to the hot stove. Everything I've read, everything that I've heard on radio from people who claim to know the Yankee pundits, if you will, and the conversations that I've had with people who are in the industry, as I'm in the industry now, suggests that the Yankees are going to be way more aggressive than they've been in pretty much any year since the 2008 offseason when they signed Sabathia, Teixeira, Burnett, and traded for Nick Swisher. They went kind of crazy, and it worked out. They won a World Series. The Texas Rangers have just shown that you can invest and turn around a team quickly. They spent over $800 million in the last two off seasons, and look, they got a chip. So I get that there's some real concern about overpaying and going over the luxury tax, but right now the Yankees were a fourth place team, and without spending at least a little bit, I don't think they're gonna get over the hump. So it sounds like Yoshinobu's getting posted. Soto could be available. Bellinger is a free agent. There's a lot of guys available. I asked you to make 3 predictions, so I'm going to put them on the screen, and I was hoping you could walk us through them, if you don't mind.
No, I'm so ready for it. Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Oh, nice. So it's like a PowerPoint presentation. Let's do
Yes,
this.
Except
Okay.
I'm controlling the clicker here.
So my first prediction for the Yankees offseason is that the Yankees are going to trade for Mr. Juan Soto, the legend himself, and they're going to give him a pretty little extension. This is obviously a deal that has to happen. If it does happen, the Yankees will become the best team in baseball with some other supplemental moves. Are we going one by one?
Yeah, we'll just go through. I'll pan back when you start talking about it. It's okay.
Cool.
I'll handle the direction. You just handle the
I'm used to the clicker. But yeah, no, I think acquiring Juan Soto, it does something for the Yankees. I'm pretty sure we talked about this last time too. It's probably the only move that they could make where it would make me confident about this team going into next season, right? And it sucks that I don't think Juan Soto is necessarily that missing piece. Like I said, you still need other supplemental moves along with him, but I think that he's the only main move that you could make this offseason that would make me be like, all right, this team's legit going into next year. Number 2, my second prediction for the offseason, the Yankees trading Gleyber Torres. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. I know that there's a lot of Gleyber lovers out there. I don't hate Gleyber Torres, but I also don't love him either. But I think especially acquiring Juan Soto and giving him a massive extension like I'm expecting him to get, there's kind of no space for Gleyber Torres with the Yankees anymore. And it's kind of sad to say, but especially giving Soto that deal, I don't see I'm not a super jinx, but I look at Gleyber Torres as a guy where I don't see a future with the Yankees. And some people might beg to differ, but especially, like I said, giving Soto that extension, the Yankees are contemplating, even if they have the money for Gleyber's arbitration salary that he's expected to get next year, which is what, like $16 million or something. Hitting free agency next year, I think that there is probably a 15% chance Gleyber Torres re-signs with the New York Yankees. So now maybe you trade him and get some value for him before he goes. Just throwing that out.
Pull up the last one here.
And then my last one, Derek, this is the one I'm kind of most excited about here. The Yankees re-signing Frankie Montas. And just because it's like, I know I maybe say that as like halfway joking, but also like mostly dead serious. I think Frankie Montas giving him a 1-year deal going into next season is the definition of like low risk, high reward, which is the types of moves the Yankees have loved to make over the past couple of years. Imagine like when they signed Corey Kluber to that 1-year deal, except I think that there's a ton more upside here. We saw the Yankees give him a little tryout towards the end of the season. I think it was against the Royals or something. He pitched well in the one appearance, but I think that was mostly to mend I don't want to say mend a relationship, but like keep that relationship stable with Montas and kind of see what they could get going into the offseason if he's even healthy. And yeah, I think, bro, you signed Frankie Montas to a 1-year prove-it deal this year. What's the worst thing that could happen? He gets hurt again, or he absolutely sucks and he's gone by June. Best case scenario, he dominates like the Frankie Montas from Oakland, and he's your number 2 going into the postseason next year. So,
just reviewing these real quick. I could definitely see the Soto thing happening if they're able to re-sign him. But the latest report that I heard was that the GM of the Padres, AJ Preller, wants to hang on to him at least until the trade deadline to see if they can make another run at it. Not sure if they're going to deal Gleyber Torres. I'm going to go ahead and push back a little bit on that one.
Just a bit outside.
Just because I think he was one of their more consistent hitters this year. And in a year where your offense was so bad, you don't want to give up on pretty much a sure thing. And also, he's been one of the guys who's been healthy. He hasn't been getting hurt. So not that I'm saying he's the best second baseman in the league or anything, but he's a good offensive second baseman. Average to slightly below average defensive second baseman. And I think they're just going to hang on to him. He's a fan favorite. And then Frankie Montas, I can definitely see. It depends on whether or not somebody's willing to give him that second year. If the Yankees say, hey, we'll give you 1 year at, let's say, $8 million, basically what you made last year, slight, cost of living, groceries, raise, $500,000 on groceries. That's about what I spend, these days. No, so I could see them doing that for sure, especially since we know that Cashman, he likes to redeem himself when he makes a bad deal. You know what I mean? Like, you probably don't remember this, but they had signed, you might remember this actually, Javier Vasquez. They traded for him and he stunk. He was awful. They let him go. They traded him as part of the Randy Johnson deal, I think. And then Cashman brought him back thinking, well, he's good now. And he stunk again.
That was
he
like,
stunk
what,
again.
Maybe?
Yeah, 2010. Yeah. And he was awful. So let's get to my predictions, which are a little bit more eyebrow raising, I think. I think they're going to sign Cody Bellinger. And the reason I went with Bellinger over Soto is not because I want Bellinger more. I think Soto would probably be a better fit. He's younger. He's an on-base percentage machine, and I think he's only going to get better. But Cody Bellinger only costs money, right? You don't have to deal, a Dominguez or any of your big prospects. And we know that Cashman hugs his prospects. And are we seeing you around the corner there? I'm going to scooch out of there with it. Pat, you. Yankees, I think they will sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Now, Yamamoto is interesting because, he's got dominating numbers in Japan, Tanaka-like numbers, 1.2 something ERA, but he's also 5'8". He's very small for a pitcher, so he's kind of Marcus Stroman sized, which makes me wonder long term about his durability. But he does throw a lot of pitches. He threw 138 the other day and didn't wear down. So there are people saying that his flexibility is Ichiro-like. He's kind of one of those people who's just got a lively arm. And then Kevin Kiermaier. The Yankees were linked with him today. I think that as a fill-in until Jason Dominguez gets back, he makes a lot of sense. Again, 1-year deal. He's a left-handed hitter, so you add a little bit of a left-handed threat, even though he's not like much of a hitter. I think this year he hit about 260 with maybe 8 or 9 home runs. And, excellent defense. He had a 3.9 WAR. Most of that was defense. So what do you think of my 3 there?
I'm going to be honest. I think your 3 might make the Yankees a more well-versed team rather than being like a little more top-heavy by just acquiring Soto and hopefully doing more. But also at the same time, I don't like Cody Bellinger on a long-term deal at all. Like, something about him just really scares me in terms of there's so many questionable factors. It kind of feels like a hitter version of Carlos Rodon in the sense of like there's an injury past there. I don't know. Like, there's a very inconsistent stat line over the past couple years. It's like I think he's been bad, 3 out of the last 4 seasons maybe. And giving him a big contract, I just don't know if that's the move I'd probably make. And as far as Yamamoto goes, don't get me wrong, like his stats in Japan are amazing, right? Like it's pretty equivalent to Tanaka when he came over. But also at the same time, like I guess this narrative is kind of diminished a little bit over the past couple of years, but bringing guys from overseas are always, there's always a risk there, right? More of a risk than if you were to sign somebody who solidified themselves already in Major League Baseball. But I don't know. I would need to see him perform for the New York Yankees in the United States before I'm like, this guy's going to save the Yankees rotation, a rotation that currently has 4 question marks, right? So it's like, bring in Yamamoto, like, cool, but I'm also viewing him as a question mark until he proves otherwise. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. And we got a couple of quick super donos to get to. We got Wardy says, thoughts on Mendoza? Appreciate the dono. So Mendoza was just hired by the Mets today. I saw a tweet that said, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, because a lot of the decisions that went wrong for the Yankees were on-field decisions this year, and he was definitely a factor in that. Look, I don't know much about him. I heard Andres Jimenez say today on Foul Territory that he's really, really smart. But, again, I don't know the guy. It's hard for us to really judge the impact of a bench coach, right?
Yeah. First of all, shout out to Wardy. Love you, Wardy. Listen, stay tuned because me and Wardy have a fun little project coming up soon. But, yeah, as far as Carlos Mendoza goes, like, I have no thoughts. It's kind of just one of those things where who knows how good he's going to be as a manager? Like, who even knows how good he was as a bench coach, right? But, yeah, that's why it's like, if Mets fans are curious as to what to expect with him, I have no idea. Because the only thing that we've ever seen from him was, like, when Boone would get ejected, Mendoza would take over as manager. But one thing I do want to say as far as that vacant bench coach position now, I'd love to see the Yankees go like an old-timey route with it. Like, go out and get like Buck Showalter or like Willie Randolph and give like that old-school presence in the dugout and not have them necessarily be manager, right? And then also, by doing that, let's say the Yankees are once again an abysmal team in June, July next year. You can get rid of Boone mid-season and have an experienced veteran manager ready to just take things over halfway through the season. So I think that might be the route to go down.
Like Ron Washington's role. You know,
sure.
A guy who's been a manager, who's been around the game a long time. Those guys are great as a bench coach because they can offer wisdom without necessarily having to be, you know, the bad guy, to the players, you know, the scary uncle or whatever that you know, a hard-nosed manager would be. We got another super dono here from Aaron L. Says Young-Hoo Lee is better than Bellinger. I don't know, man. First of all, the KBO is essentially AA as compared to Major League Baseball. So this guy's probably going to need some time in the minor leagues. And Bellinger's a guy, I mean, we showed the numbers. He hit 307 with 26 home runs this year, 20 stolen bases in 499 at-bats, 881 OPS. Look, it was a bounce-back year. He won Comeback Player of the Year, Player's Choice Award so far. And he's only 28 years old. I like Bellinger. And look, like I said before, Soto would be my guy if I could get him without giving up Dominguez. But you'd also have to re-sign him. And
I'm giving up Dominguez.
I don't think I would, because I think Dominguez, what he showed, he's going to be basically a switch hitting Soto, and he's younger and cheaper. You know, I mean,
yeah, but also at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, if it came down to Dominguez or no Dominguez, I'm probably doing it. But I think the Yankees could get Soto without having to give up Dominguez.
Yeah, I also agree. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you could give him Thorpe, who was a top pitching prospect this year. Spencer Jones getting a lot of love from the prospect rankings. Roderick Arias, number one international prospect, still like 18 or 19 years old. I can
Anthony
see them.
Volpe.
Yeah. Look, I don't think they would trade Volpe. After he's established himself 2020 as a rookie, won a Gold Glove, fan favorite. But look, if they asked for Volpe for Volpe for Soto, 100% I would make that deal.
I think you have to. Yeah,
absolutely. All we know is that Brian Cashman has got to get to work. We cannot sit on the sidelines all winter like we've done the last couple of years.
I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Game Time. NYY Recaps is sponsored by Game Time, fastest growing ticket app in the world. Download the Game Time app to your phone or other smart device, or visit the gametime.co website to get last-minute tickets to all your favorite types of events, baseball, other sports, concerts, football, theater, comedy, you name it. You can find it on Game Time. Use the code NYY Recaps for $20 off of your first purchase. Game Time.
Sure.
Lowest price on last-minute tickets guaranteed.
I just got tickets.
Really?
I just
now?
got them. Yeah, just for the Knicks game. Yeah.
Sweet. Isn't Game Time great?
Beautiful app. Yeah, great app.
The game that we met up at that Friday night a month ago. Game Time. Section 420, $7. $7, Pat.
Where are you finding a deal like that?
That was
Nowhere
less
else.
than the cost of my hot dog.
That's a point. Did you get the extra? You know they have like the extra long ones for like $2 more.
Yeah, I got the massive hot dog. Yeah, I didn't finish it though.
Yeah.
I ate about half of it, and I was like, "This is disgusting," and I didn't love it.
No, I enjoy a hot dog every now and then, but I will say, like, I couldn't catch myself eating the foot long one. But
yeah,
to each his own, right?
Not So Family Fun Vision brings up a good point. The Padres have no money. They just had to get a $50 million loan to make payroll. I saw some people reporting, and this was something that was reported last year that we all kind of dismissed, but now it has a real chance. Tatis could be available. He could be dangled if you take one of their other bigger contracts. Because, I mean, he's a young guy. He's got, I think, 10 years left on his deal, and he's obviously an unbelievable player. He's kind of a head case. I don't know how he would do in New York, but he's an unbelievable player. And really, it's kind of a team-friendly contract.
Yeah. Tatis is an interesting option. I still prefer Soto at the end of the day, but let's say you get both. Maybe that's a scenario too, where it's like, yo, the Padres are just completely unloading, which I don't think is going to happen. But in that case, yeah, you're giving up Dominguez, Vulpi, literally anyone who they want, not named Cole or Judge. But I think it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of people who are falling for the Padres reports coming out where it's like, oh, they're going to wait until the deadline. If anybody thinks that they're not just using that as like a bargaining tactic this offseason, they're crazy. Right. If I had to put money on it, I would say that Juan Soto does get traded this offseason. I really do.
Well, we'll see. So, Pat, what you been up to lately, man?
Nothing much, man. Just a lot of work, just a lot of fun. I'm a boxer now. That's one thing.
Boxer, really?
Yeah. No, I'm trained to be a boxer. That's breaking news. Just enjoying life, Derek. How about you?
I'm definitely not training to be a boxer. I'm doing a lot of sitting on the couch and eating cheese balls. But
cool.
I've been watching a lot of movies that I missed this summer as I covered all the baseball games. I recently went and saw Killers of the Flower Moon, the new Scorsese movie. It's like 4 hours long, bro.
Oh, I think I saw a commercial for that. Yeah.
Oh my God, with DiCaprio and oh my God, it was good, but God dang, it was so long. I've been working with Foul Territory.
I went to the movies.
When was that?
2019. I saw Toy Story 4. Continue.
Oh wow. I was gonna say I was working with Foul Territory this weekend. Went up to Atlantic City. Got to check out the Borgata. That was beautiful. Got to hang out with Kratz and Todd Frazier, two guys who've been on the podcast and are very, very cool. Scott Braun as well. Yeah, it was a fun time. And that's pretty much it. I'm gearing up for the winter. Been kind of giving obviously the show an overhaul, building all of these fun little animations.
High five.
High five. Bang.
All right.
Is that Borat?
That's Borat, man. High five.
Sorry, I can't do this anymore. I really can't.
Yeah. It is what it is. I've been...
One more thing. Can I say one more thing before we go? So this is probably going to be the last time we talk until awards get announced. So I just want to send this message home real quick. If you are a writer, actually, no, the writers already voted. So if you are a writer and you didn't vote Garrett Cole for Cy Young this year, you're a loser. You probably have no friends. Your family doesn't love you. You're probably just a miserable person who spends their weekends sitting at home crushing 3 Little Caesars pizzas at a time. So I'm going to be flabbergasted, disappointed, and disgruntled if Garrett Cole does not unanimously win the Cy Young Award this year. Him winning it is already a lock, but I need to see that big U next to the award as well.
I wholeheartedly agree with everything you said except for the Little Caesars pizza. Nothing wrong with eating 3 pizzas, man. Let's get that clear right now. Caesars, first of all, they're not big pizzas. They're small pizzas. And they're $5 a piece. And well, I don't know if I could put away 3 of them, but I'm happy to try. I'm happy to try. Are you ready to do our little shimmy before we say goodbye?
No, I'm ready.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.
I gotta get out of here!
You gotta go, you gotta go.
Game over, man. Game over.
All right, guys. Hot Stove kicking off. There's going to be a lot more content over the next several months. We are just getting started. Special thanks to Pat Hennessy. Go subscribe to his channel, Unhinged Yankees. He is on the way back. Coming back for the 2024 season. I forgot what year it was. Coming back like Ali to the ring, like Jordan to the Garden. We'll see you next time.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.